All right, everyone, welcome back. It looks like we are indeed getting into the games. Kind of surprisingly, as the ping, as you can see there, is not ideal for Team Xplosion. All their routers are imploding. I don't know what the hell is going on. But they are going to play on. See if they can chug through the pain, I would say. All Kevlar. This is an interesting pistol round on Inferno.
Yeah, I mean, if you're just trying to give yourself a bit more time to be able to maybe get a lucky Glock shot off on 250 ping, yeah, makes sense. Well, in Shori, though, starts off strong. Urcast is down with that. They get full Archer's control as well. And rotations will be fast from Zeralta. He's trying to cover off from CT. Ariuko from the side comes through, and Zeralta is gone. Only Bintet left alone on the B-bomb side.
Yeah, well, he's going to put a stop to the first player. At this point, hoping to stay alive a little bit longer and allow rotations to come through from his teammates. Unfortunately, he is clinched in on taking out, and the high ping Glocks are making this work. As you said, they can be difficult to deal with. Gratisfaction and Zion may as well move forward and see if they can give this retake a shot. But as I mentioned, everyone on the server in this round bought Kevlar, so there's no kits, no utility. They need to just land headshots, and that's exactly what we get started off with. Unfortunately, it's only one that's put on the board for NKT. Xplosion trade back, and that's a solid start. Let's see if they can build off of it.
I am also just slightly concerned that I know GoTV can be slightly weird about ping sometimes, so there is a possibility that the ping isn't this high. But even so, we're not going to know for a while. Regardless, so
didn't look that bad in fairness when they were playing. They looked fine.
Yeah, they look like they're all right. 250 ping is honestly ridiculous. You can definitely tell whenever you're watching in on a player who's got such high ping. 5 players right down the middle they go. That's a USB depth ball, and it's called the depth ball because it's about to die. Maybe not until they get a few kills though. So Zeralta and Bintet both coming out on top of a few big ones.
Yeah, I mean, some good damage being connected, and they're putting a little bit more even in. There's an AK. Bintet now dangerous with this weapon in hand, so Xplosion do need to be careful. Gonna smoke off bottom mid, just charge it up towards B. As you said, yeah, he has a molly. Unfortunately, won't be in position quite yet to do anything with it. So the bomb is gonna go down for now, uncontested. But they're in position pretty quickly. They have time to work with.
Player spotted out. Remember, molly from Bintet is going to be very, very important. Tugu is trying to get aggressive in the meanwhile. Urkas will be found out and brought down. Ryukul blocks out CT for now. Bintet with a deep Molotov doesn't quite realize that player had already moved away. Obviously didn't know it was Tugu initially. And Tugu can just cover off, sees the shadow, and it's an easy second round. I say easy, they did lose 3 players.
Yeah, and it was only 5 USPs. There was 0 investment, I believe, from NKT, so they can be pretty happy themselves with what they got done, even though, of course, Bintet wasn't able to pull off the clutch in the end. They still took away 3 weapons, I think most of which were SMGs, but it's still a decent result. And you can see after the heavy reinvestment into the rifles now, Xplosion don't really have much left over in the bank, so there is a chance for NKT to take this open and gun round and really start building off the back of it. Flash up mid, catches Aircast. Not going to be peeking if that's what he was looking to go for. Pretty standard though on the CT side, nothing crazy. 2 players around Banana using a little bit of utility to deter the aggression, but for now the focus for the T side is actually on mid, and Gratisfaction coming back out of the boiler. It's going to be a trade on towards long as well, so the advantage stays with Xplosion. And with that now, Zion is in trouble in the pit, needs to stay alive, eats a nade though, and is hoping to use this one-way smoke, but he's not going to get away with it.
Yeah, they definitely don't have 250 ping. No way. I refuse to believe that for a second.
No, it does not look like it. You would see how slow their reactions and such would be.
Yeah, 100%. But obviously, I think that one of the most exciting things about NKT right now in this new lineup is the fact that they have gone away from predominantly Mongolian. You've mentioned it earlier. There's so many great Mongolian teams and talents that it seemed like the Asian scene would sort of just end up being Mongolia and China. But NKT going back to another international affair is quite promising. They do still obviously have both Urkas and Zeralta, who are the Mongolian players. But regardless, man, it's, you've still got Zain, Mr. Korea, Bintet coming from Indonesia, and then Gratisfaction from down under. This is a fun time for Asian CS.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, it's very early days here, and they've started off 0-3, but it's still an exciting lineup. Hopefully, they can showcase that here today, though. That's what I want to see. Is this their first game, or have they already played a match here?
I think they've already played a match already. I seem to remember they posted about a win on social media. They beat New Happy, which is not something to be scoffed at. I believe New Happy came fourth last season after being surprisingly pulled up into the playoffs after NKT themselves withdrew. So good to see.
Yeah, the half bite out here. NKT with a couple rifles saved over and then some pistols and Kevlar. They should, on paper, be Xplosion getting an opportunity to go up 4-0. We'll see what damage can be done. Very slowly being approached by Xplosion, though. I think with the right idea in mind, though, to bring it towards B eventually. For now, it's only Zeralti over here. He has one of the M4s in fairness, and he's been given a pretty early warning, so he could have had rotations on the way over, but they're not going to be prompted, and, well, the actual commitment towards B isn't fully prompted yet either. They're moving this back up mid in the meantime as well.
That Archer smoke has just been missed out, I believe. Yep. Just a little bit off, and that means there's a massive gap in it. Not exactly what they wanted to see. They were hoping to actually force rotations back to the A-bomb side. Little do they know that the A-bomb site, once the failed Archer smoke goes out, will be quickly vacated, and back to B goes out NKT. They will have 4 players here ready to stack over by the time this execute starts to come through. Full utility being used. It still does have to be Zeralte to put up the major defense. Push out from the smoke. It's Bintet to get one. Zeralte picks up a double and he stays alive as well. Advantage gained at 3-on-2. 18 seconds. Tugu good for another one, but Zeralte pushes through the smoke. Finds all 4. NKT, off the back of a missed smoke, are able to get all their players in the perfect position.
Yeah, it's an absolute miracle play from Zeralti. He was the only one who could be the difference maker at that point, and he swings around in favor of his team that they had no right having. So it's an opportunity. It's a chance here for them to really get rolling in the early stages before it got out of hand. And you can see, although there's a buy-in now for Xplosion, there's a couple Galils. The nades are near perfect, but they have spent everything to actually get it into play. So NKT, if they take their second round, if they can chain 2 together, they will leave Xplosion down on an eco. Again, a slow approach from Xplosion, though. Few nades out in the early stages, waiting to see what sort of aggression might be coming at them from NKT. And at the moment, there's 3 around Banana early on, just looking to get the 1 deep. They'll probably rotate another back over, and I mean, potentially even just leave the 1 if they really wanted to take the gamble. For now, though, they're happy to keep the 3-2 split.
I think this is definitely one of the maps where I was expecting NKT to suffer a little bit because of the subtraction of Senzu. Zeralta is obviously a big talent in the scene as well, got a lot of hubbub around him, but Senzu just seems to be everyone's de facto prodigy. And Inferno is one of those maps where even if you are the B-bomb side anchor, there's a lot of skill expression possible. But even so, wouldn't be surprised if Zeralta does very well with his decision making as well.
Nice work by Tugu as he ran around long. Should have the drop on Zeralte as well. There we go. Definitely doesn't have 200 plus ping as we thought. Gratisfaction will desperately try and clinch something back in their favor as he actually drops the bomb back on Banana. But he's not going to be able to do anything about Rue, who recovers it and falls back to bring this on towards A. They know it's a 1-1 split at most at this point. They're just going to go in and trade this out. And then the bomb plant and the site should be theirs. And indeed, Gratisfaction at this point surely forced into a save.
Op of Gratisfaction yet to really be able to find much to show us whether or not he's still got it.
Yeah. I mean, this is crazy in the early stages from Xplosion. A pretty convincing 4-1 start that's likely going to go up 5-1 before the full buy comes out again.
And of course, a lot of people might be wondering, how did Gratisfaction end up on an Asian team? Well, actually, remember, Urkaz did play in Australia for a very long time. I think he was in Greyhound for a huge amount of time. And during that portion of his career, Gratisfaction and him were apparently very good friends. So he was able to get the recruitment out on Grat, and Asian Operas have been looking very good recently, but never quite able to find the same heights and consistency as Gratisfaction once upon a time was able to boast. So if he couldn't get back into form, it's a very exciting prospect.
sorry. I was responding to a message there from the dad.
All good.
Gotta update some logos in game.
Well,
Op and an M4 carry through. I mean, they made the previous one where they had 2 weapons saved work, and they might just do it again. Gratisfaction with an opening kill. Zeralti catches them above the smoke on Banana, and well, the final 3 standing players at this point for Xplosion are grouped in towards Banana. I was going to say, if they had some nades, they could have done some serious damage. Unfortunately, they're not really working with any utility, which does mean that there's still going to be some openings here for Xplosion. They have time, they have 3 players standing and a weapons advantage. So it's recoverable.
they need to find the kill soon, though, right? They've got a single flashbang. That's all they have to be able to pop onto a bomb site. So you're expecting a lot more contact plays to come out. Zeralta himself is waiting to flash over. It's just a self-pop flash, and Gratisfaction's op misses out the shot. What a repeat from Rooks on the fadeaway. Entry. Deep Molotov goes out. Zeralta had already moved past it, and Ryukul is the one to collect. Now moving forward for a few more, and advantage regained.
I think he got caught on the molly or something there as it was being thrown on towards construction, was it? An awkward position. Either way, that AK for Aircast could be worth saving at this point. The bomb's not down long, though, so they do want to try and move in. At least taking the initial peek. Aircast getting a smoke ready, and I would have preferred maybe if they tried to just steal away another weapon at this point and do some damage, because even though they can get their full buy in this next round, that AK is still going to be a pretty nice boost to in the hands of Aircast in terms of the impact it can output. And there we go, making it at this point just a bit more costly. Throws the gun to Zion. Is there another one down mid or something?
There should be. That's where they were able to get another kill as well, I do believe. And as Urka starts to head back over, the op is recoverable. And indeed, he gets it, but he's not ready for the knife next to him. Gets inshoried out. Oh, no. Oh, no.
That was awkward. Now is it a bomb at that point? The ticking gets pretty loud even when you're on the other side of the map. So just didn't hear the footsteps coming through Arch. 5-1. That's the scoreline we were expecting, though. I mean, considering what they went into that round with again, NKT were able to do decent damage. The economy is modest for Xplosion. It's not growing all that much, but they need to capitalize on that here and now by winning this and by winning, ideally, a couple rounds off the back of it as well. As a quick mid-push is coming in. They're going to actually catch the op up close on short, rather. Gratisfaction completely in the open. There's one more player towards the pit who's going to be mollied, and, well, he gets away with a kill. Unfortunately, though, he's forced to stand in the flames and suffer the burn. Only able to get away with the one, but they do still have a relatively decent 3-on-3 here. The damage, though, onto both Inshuri and Mick is going to make things pretty difficult.
A lot of utility as well now for NKT as they're getting ready for the full retake. Nade not quite going back to Rooks' position, but with 2 on the bomb side, Zeralta is gone with a nade of their own. Bintet and Urkast getting now ready for the retake. Util, deep nade. Urkast, oh, that's so much damage to come through. Second Molotov as well. Rooks is now fighting inside of it. Urkast, a 1-on-2. Both players inside the bomb site, but they won't need to come out. Mick just seals the deal.
Damn, Team Xplosion are just too much for NKT to handle. They're going to be left on another eco. It looks like they'll force where they can. Which is Zion who had extra cash to get a rifle out. Other than that, though, pistols mostly 1 MP9. And in theory, a 7-1 lead on the way here for Xplosion, which is going to be them nearly already putting themselves up towards a lead at the half-time. This is incredibly impressive. You said Nuke coming up next is definitely a map where NKT should fare better. Look at his mid-aggression, though. Do they have any idea? No, they're not watching for it. Zion catches them off guard. The smoke towards Banana actually worked against them, though, in the long run, because Zion wasn't able to get that backstab, which would have been unexpected, but he goes through the smoke. He's a madman. There's 2 kills in the meantime that are pulled back around for Xplosion, and this is the only rifle getting all of the work done. Zion is a hero, but it still hasn't quite guaranteed the round win yet.
I mean, the sheer amount of rounds where we've seen NKT come out in an advantage where they only have 1 rifle, maybe 2 rifles at most, is very impressive. Yeah. And it just goes to remind you, these players are incredible veterans, right? Zion's been around in the Asian scene as long as any other But even then, Mix in this 1-on-2 needs to be able to try and close. Bomb in his hand. AK pulled out. Zyme finally put down, and Gratisfaction at least has a fair deal, armor or not, with only 47 HP on Mick.
It's going to be tough without the kit. Doesn't have time to sit around and wait. Needs to just push through, and the angle is being held right now. Gratisfaction, though, tucking himself in. At this point, realizing he might just be up close as he hasn't shown himself anywhere else. And there you go. Reads it perfectly. Mick eats a bullet to the head, and well, there's just about enough time, a few seconds to spare for that defuse to come true. So NKT finally get that second round. Again, as you said, off the back of just the saved weaponry that was brought through. I mean, not saved this time. It was the one hero rifle being bought up by Zion, and then the recovered weapon by Gratisfaction to put the end to it, of course. But it's these rounds where you don't expect them to get very much, where they maybe are let off the leash a little bit. No pun intended, because they're cast at a picture of a dog and we were watching him.
It does look like a very scary dog, I will say.
It looks kind of dirty at the same time, the side-eye. It's like, what the hell are you looking at?
I feel like this is a cultural difference, because if someone says to me, what the hell are you looking at? That's more scary than derpy.
Nah, but I don't know. It doesn't seem too scary. It's kind of like, he's like, you gonna give me pets or not? I don't know. I like dogs, no matter what. So okay. I just think they all look friendly. Enough. Until they bite you, then they're not that friendly. Zeralti, though, gets himself a second. He's biting right now. Charged through the smoke on Banana, fully blinded, getting that second kill, and has avoided even taking any damage somehow. It was Benta who ate the nade in the background for him.
Another 5-on-3 to start things out for NKT. And it is Zeralti to push in through the smoke and find another one in the meanwhile.
This is what they needed. Crazy players.
Just people getting 3Ks. That's what they needed. That is true. That does help. Push through the smoke, get a 3K. That's called strategy, boys. Up on the other side, Gratisfaction. Another missed shot at the exact same angle. It's not been treating him too well. At least he stays alive this time.
Oh, again with this Banana aggression, catching the timing perfectly on Inchuri. Sure and Fury for Inchuri. At this point, Mick, I mean, his best option is probably to save the AK, but I'm not too sure he'll be allowed to even. He is pretty much pinched in towards the T apartments. What a round from Zeralti, though. Single-handedly ensuring that they do actually chain 2 rounds together.
Yeah.
And putting a stop to what seemed like it was a little bit of a curse for them in a very clean fashion as well. They don't lose a single player before he makes his plays happen, so they get to keep everyone standing. They'll have to just repurchase a few nades, but they'll finally build up some sort of an economy. And they've also, in the meantime, finally broken down Team Xplosion, who, even with the one saved AK, will not be buying up very much, even in terms of pistols, I wouldn't imagine.
2 out of the 3 rounds that NKT has actually found have been completely off of Zeralti. So very impressive stuff from him so far, showing that he is indeed a fitting replacement for the boy wonder. At least so far.
Yeah, and if we get Gratisfaction performing as well, then it could certainly be a scary team in terms of the firepower across the board. I mean, you have Bentet there who's nuts as well. Aircast can be fantastic. Zion is also great. So, I mean, it really is an all-star team. Hopefully it clicks. Fortunately, that smoke makes things pretty difficult when trying to challenge Boiler. Zeralti with his Banana aggression again, this time warned away by a bit of a dink, but he still takes the 1 kill.
Grad finding a comfortable frag on Ariukul as well, and KT have found the 4th one, pretty much guaranteed at this stage. Tugu has nothing else to offer to the server. I am slightly worried about the economy that they are going to be on now, because it's not even like you're on 5k on the rest of the 4 players, so your utility will be slightly drier regardless, and then Mick is going to be left on a Tech 9 or something like that. A Mac 10 with the smoke is all he has. Wow. So Xplosion not putting themselves in the best situations to actually collect on a round later on. You're going to see them without too many Molotovs, only the 1 on entry, and on a map like Inferno, it feels like that is just an automatic back foot.
Hey, it's not doing as much damage as I thought they were going to do onto Inshuri. Oh, but then Rue drops a nade on his head. That was unfortunate. He avoided the enemy molly just to eat a team nade, and well, now is being swung on. Rue at the very least makes up for it by ensuring the trade comes in, so that is one thing, but Inshuri actually wasn't the one who went down, it was Tugu, so you've still got a low health player over on this T side as well, and they're moving it back towards the A bomb site where most of the CT presence is.
Gratisfaction out in the open, could be caught, but he finds Mick instead. The Mac 10 taken down. Gratisfaction has to be careful. There won't be any utility to help him out. So the close range shots is all. He's got a no-scope as well. A deagle that won't be delivering, but he has found a triple that he's more than happy with it. 5th round for NKT. They're really bringing it back now.
Well, damn, what a madman. Second kill was difficult enough as was, with the player in close. Then goes out for the no-scope as well, and honestly, for a moment I thought he was going to escape and maybe even come away with a fort. Either way, the op is recovered, dropped back over, so it's not too much hassle. Xplosion haven't bought up in that previous round, as we said, we even a quite limited investment. Are again now left looking at an eco. It's going to be tied up 6-6 most likely, and well, NKT could be still potentially looking at a 9-6 half, which would be a tremendous recovery from the position they were in just a few rounds ago, down 6-1.
Hey man, even equalizing at 6-6 is massive.
Yeah, compared to it looking like they were going to get stumped, maybe even 10-1 at the rate it was going. Couple Tech 9s, some Deagles. Haven't been seeing any shots that make me think these Deagles are going to be crazy scary, but we will see, as the run boost was impressive. Okay, you shut me the hell up. He's like, screw you, Din. Rue is going to make me Rue today as well, as he gets the kill on Zeralti, but as you can see, the trades are still effective with those rifles in play, so a 3-on-3 isn't an easy position for Xplosion now to try and actually convert on, but they have some hope. They even have an M4.
We've seen more things happen with a single rifle in the past as well, admittedly from the other team. But hey, at least there is precedent sign. Looks a peek out forward. He's got a defensive angle right now, and so does Binted right underneath the smoke. Binted is trying to use it as a one-way, but instead it's Aryuka already in position. Zine had taken out his teammates in the Tech 9 in pursuit. Will find nothing as well. Mick all out in the open, a 1-on-2 where he will find the first one at the very least. Second one, though, comes in from behind. It's Urkas to shut it down. One player alive, but with the amount of money that NKT has, they don't really care.
Nah, they won't really be worried about it. They built up a much steadier economy than Xplosion were ever looking at in the streak of rounds that they built up, which is kind of crazy because it's usually a lot easier to get the money going on the T side. The op available again, though, now for Tugu. Everyone else has their rifles. Every single bit of utility they could ask for as well. So if Xplosion are to start picking up rounds anytime soon, it would, well, hopefully be now. Gratisfaction wants the mid-aggression. He's not going to land the shot, though. Was slightly thrown off by the first player having already made it past the angle. Didn't want to get caught off guard by the kind of double peek, I would imagine. So took the shot and got out of there as quick as he could. At the very least, though, has it in the minds of Xplosion that they are willing to get aggressive, slows them down slightly before they do actually move in towards that apartment's control. Forces them to wait out the utility as well. That didn't work. Look up.
God. I think it's one of the most disheartening things in Counter-Strike when you not only fail to be silent in your cross, but you also drop down. So you just completely fail to jump entirely. Reminds me of old Inferno. When you could actually fail that jump.
I mean, it's pretty difficult to fail. Only if you're trying to be quiet. If you're trying not to make too much noise, it can be a little bit harder. Screw it. You just go for it. And, well, Xplosion are just going for it in towards B right now. A very aggressive stance from Zeralti in towards Oranges, though. Gets the molly down as well to force the damage as they push through. And although he doesn't get a second kill, as you can see, 2 players on towards half health. It's setting them up for what is going to be a very swift retake. They've already got all 3 players here in position.
Oh, there goes Zine. Goodbye, Tugu. Connecting him right before the smoke will be going through. Gap in the smoke as well means that Tugu's got more opportunities here. Gratisfaction on the other side are trying to exploit the same gap for another quick kill. Now, surprisingly enough, he is going for this retake and a 1-on-2 where he didn't really have much time either. NKT lose out the round and also most of their economy that was saved up, but should still be okay for the rest of the half.
Yeah, I mean, when he's a little bit low, if they were to lose this one, it actually gives Xplosion a really good chance at the 9-6. I was expecting their money to be a little bit better as well, but no, they've put it all in pretty much. And even with an MP9 on Zeralt, who has been such a good fragger, ideally you want him with a rifle, right?
Yeah. 5 players with head armor is also not the best versus the AKs and op, but hey man, that's just one of those things.
Ooh, Aircast flashed over
pushing
apps.
Out. Good for one, make it 2. It's Rooks on the other side who's finally able to respond, but in the meanwhile, he's lost teammates on the other bomb side. The MP9 seems to be just as deadly as his A4.
That was nasty. We hadn't seen anything like that with the peek in towards second mid yet. I mean, we had a Gratisfaction try peek down mid and towards it once, but here immediately in the round afterwards, as they're all running up second mid, focused on that, making sure the op isn't going to be going for anything similar. They do the flash over apps instead and catch them perfectly off guard. I like the change in pace. I like the change in plan, and it was really at the perfect timing as well to ensure that they take that clinch round and now have a chance at coming away with A7 and winning the half, which again looked like it was out of reach early on in this half. So a very good job being done at recovering it, and Zion with the nade done so much damage, mowed two of them down then afterwards as well, and with the banana aggression now coming in as well. This is not looking good for Xplosion. They are being ripped apart. Gratisfaction, even while blinded, lands the shot on Inshuri. Although Zeralti's going to get shut down, he does some decent damage to ensure this 3-on-2 rather is still favorable. That nade might even get him. No, not quite.
Bandit has to be careful. The Molotov down. Arduko's got reason to peek out, but he resets his gun and drops the bomb in time. Urkos will just find the very lonely Mick running around. 8-7. I believe we're due for a break, but Dean, I'll leave that one up to you.
Yeah, we're just going to send it over to a quick break, rather. We will be back within 2 to 3 minutes, so stick with us.
Ready for battle, 'cause I got a thing to claim. Think that I'll crumble, I'll show you a mistake. Where you see me coming, better run for cover, 'cause I'm not slowing down, I'm never going under. I survived the pain, I know it may smoke clears, I'll still be on my feet, forget all of my fears. Cause I know my destiny, I feel a champion waking inside of me. It's set in motion, the legend spoken. This is my moment. Can't break my focus, know where I'm going. This is my moment. I came to conquer.
Faced myself in the mirror not so long ago, and I told me, do you know? I told me, do you know? All alone in your head, but you don't have to pretend that you will make a change, 'cause you don't wanna change. I'm gonna be real honest this time. I'm okay with it, I am more than fine. I'm gonna roll all less red dice now. Tell me I won't get out. Tell me I won't get out. I wanna walk the sky, alone among the stars, without forgetting who I was, or have to look back that far. And I don't want to forget.
All right, we are back. As I said, just a quick break on the halftime. NKT, though, with an explosive turnaround as they pulled it back from initially being down 6-1 to come out on top at the halftime.
Let's see what exactly Xplosion can bring out. I'm still a little bit unsure, Dean, about what we're going to see from Xplosion on the server as far as ping is concerned, because I have had a few rounds where I've seen him and thought, well, that looks like an unnatural sort of peak to come through, but who knows? I think it's fair to say that they might be having some complications, but regardless of all of that, they have gained control, or the NKT has gained control over the B-bomb site, and will have the bomb plant in, and Xplosion have to come back with a retake with a full 5-on-5. Tees are completely prepped in post-plant positions. Urkos is, however, coming in for a flank from behind.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a later one, so I don't know if this is going to be expected. We'll see if he gets the drop on them. No, unfortunately, taken down himself, but the rest of his team find wild success as they find the CT players coming through those choke points and just tear them apart with Glocks. 9-7, NKT continuing on with what was an incredible end to that first half and just now building up a lead for themselves for the first time in this game. Should be double digits before they find even any rifles on the opposing side.
Yeah, I mean, 6-1 is what we have to remember, right? Just from their Xplosion only finding a single round, which is kind of wild.
Yeah,
Of course,
especially
this is
how good
Xplosion's
they
map pick.
looked when they were winning rounds.
Absolutely.
It didn't look like they were kind of lucky rounds or anything. Sure, I mean, in some of those rounds where they were only against a couple of rifles, they were taking a lot of damage, but in the actual gun rounds they were winning, it looked like they had solid approaches and very effective trading, as well as good individual skill. Unfortunately, that has been missing for the last while, as eventually a kill comes in there for Rue. The flash made it difficult for all of them, and unfortunately they get cleaned up.
Yeah, Tugu's just praying for a kill or two, and maybe more importantly, needed to pray that he doesn't get taken down by the Mach 10 design, finding some extra money for himself as well. And Xplosion don't pick up much of anything in that previous round. Even the kills that they find are not all the most impactful, so NKT, this bonus round could be a real opportunity to trebuchet themselves forwards economically as well.
Yeah, keeping the weaker weapons. This is not a great buy for Xplosion, though. Going for a third round buy on Inferno is never great. That's why a lot of the times you'll just see the straight up buy after losing the pistol. They'll force in. You can get nades and pistols in Kevlar, or else you can take the eco and you can come onto the rifles, but have very little utility to back it up. And as you can see, no kit even. So they did take a slight gamble putting 3 towards Banana early on, but that looks like it's going to be the incorrect gamble as well.
Sign. Moving forward, remember, there's no head armor, so Mick is just as liable to death to the Mach 10 as any other rifle.
Yeah, this is already a save being called, understandably, from Xplosion. As you said, this is their map choice as well. This is where they needed to find success, and it is very quickly slipping away from them. I would imagine they might send Aircast to hunt, perhaps. Sign's already upgraded to an M4, so you probably don't want to be throwing that away, but I mean, it might be worth for them all to move in, to be honest, just to try and get these weapons out of play, and already some effectiveness as Bentek gets the first. Gratisfaction joining in, and well, it's all on Inshuri now, trapped in towards construction, where he's not going to be able to put anything together.
Great job that they're actually going for the hunt. More and more teams are becoming slightly scared about doing so, because there's been so many. I think with the way Virtus Pro was playing, with the way, you know, some of these teams on Inferno, like in Heroic and whatnot, play, they are getting so good at just saving that you end up giving up 2-3 rifles consistently. So NKT sort of bucking the trend a little bit more and going for the full out warfare into the M4s do manage to collect nicely.
Yeah, we have a Mag 7, some Deagles, and a 5-7 in play. See what can be found. The Deagle already catching one on mid, but trying to get the weapon into his hands, unfortunately, is what cost him his life. Although Mick goes for a bit of a mad push through the Molly and does actually get away with an AK now. Not bad. A 3-on-3, I mean, it's still going to be difficult for them to turn this into a round win, but they've given themselves a little bit of a chance, especially if there's Mag 7 and Pistol that are over towards the B-bomb site can come out with a couple of kills.
Brooks could be the big man to watch out for. And what a shot! Long range. He's got the headshot as well. Now pulls out the Deagle. Can he actually find anything with it? His teammate is low. And the peek forward will be punished. Where Rook's Mag 7 still has a few more shots left in it. But will it be allowed to get them off? No, absolutely not. It's only Mick, but he's been given all he could ask for. A 1-on-2. Despite having started off the round so poorly. AK as well. Remember, he found that with the 5-7. And Zeralta faces the smoke and will just find the frag. So NKT will be up to 12 regardless of the Mag 7 success.
Yeah, I mean, at least giving us some entertainment in these rounds here on the weaker buys, making it exciting so it's not too boring. Yeah, they're going to have to make it very exciting now that the guns have come back into play. Tugu gets the op as well. He has no nades to back it up, but he has the big green gun. That's the main thing. And this is really their last chance. If they lose this, they're on another eco. It's 14 for NKT, and although they'll get another gun round, they would need to have a flawless CT side. So I don't see that happening. Rue bypasses them as he gets blinded. That is crazy. He ends up getting caught at the end of Banana by Bentet. His teammate taken out as well elsewhere in the meantime, leaving it now in a 5-on-3 with no damage really even dealt out on towards the NKT players. And Shuri in a decent position to catch one off guard. And has a molly as well. It looks like they still want to push him down, though. They're pressing the issue. They realize he's alone, most likely, and indeed, they've taken him out so they can run the bomb back over now. Maybe another save. Nope.
Definitely now. No choice but to do it. I think Rook was disconnected or lagged out or something there, because he just pushed all the way through. Even when he stopped being blinded, he saw the T-side players out of the corner of his eye, rather out of the corner of his screen, and he still doesn't actually shoot them. Pushes all the way through the smoke, full running. He must have been lagged out.
It was strange. I don't know. We didn't catch it all from his perspective. It was definitely a weird one, though, as Aircast gets the kill on Tugu. Yeah, I mean, they're taking these rounds incredibly cleanly as well. Look how ridiculous their economy is already. Having, what, only taken 5 rounds here so far? They've taken 5 since the half begun. Xplosion yet to get themselves on the board here on the CT side, and it's not really going to happen now, considering their buy doesn't look like it's going to be great, but they're certainly going to go for it. Terrible.
Yeah, things have gotten a little bit out of control. The only person who's saved up a little bit is Tugu, who seems to be wanting to pick up the op for himself later on. Pretty defensive setup over towards the B-bomb side. It's about to be sussed out. Gratisfaction is just leading the charge forward. The Molotov's the only thing stopping them, but Rooks with a full peek out will at least get the advantage. Mick with the mag, well, 7 and the 5-7. He's a man of many 7s. Spots out the legs of Zine, but will end up faltering regardless. Can't actually shoot his head because of the balcony in between.
Yeah, instead he gets kneecapped. It's kind of more painful. The other way is quick. Tugu up close in Boiler, though, with the Deagle. Can be a dangerous weapon at this range. Unfortunately, he takes the peek out first. Bentet was holding for it as well. Apps control taken in the meantime. Just ensuring no one else is aggressive, and then they're going to actually move it back over towards B, where Rue is left alone on low health. So again, they're making pretty much the perfect call. Ensuri's just putting himself more firmly towards that A bomb site in the meantime, as well as he moves in towards Library. I think now realizing he might need to go back towards B. Yeah, they're beginning to make some noise here.
Yeah, it shouldn't really matter all that much. Rooks is just gone. 4-on-2. Ensuri being here is just another casualty waiting to happen. Zeralta will spam him through the smoke, and despite there being very little time left, Xplosion will have to contend with a 14th round from NKT unless Ariuko just pulls off the round of his life. And with Zine spotting him out early on, even if Zine does suffer a quick death, shouldn't matter all that much.
Yeah, I mean, are they going to take the eco now and play for the overtime, or are they just going to keep on forcing up? That's the question. They might just force. I mean, you can get M4 body armor on 2 of the players. Tugu can get his op body armor. You can have 2 players on FAMASs or SMGs. So although I don't want them to force, you know they're going to, as you can see, because they did in the previous round when they didn't even have quite as much money. So I could see it coming. It's getting a bit desperate.
Yeah, it does seem like Xplosion is slightly checked out. But maybe a few of these desperation buys can actually help them out and put them in the right headspace before nuke as well. I am curious to see how they set things up, as it is going to be slightly more aggressive, posturing back towards the B-bomb site with 3 players present and ready. Deep flashes. They do get caught out. Ensuri is gone. Bintet as well. Flashed off, but it won't matter. Zeralta's double. That's them all they need.
Destroyed. I mean, they had their own flash in, but Bentet dropped one perfectly timed for Zeralta to just tear them apart, and he's going to keep it going. It's 4 as he puts a stop to any hope for Xplosion. As you said, they were looking to get something to have a little bit of a better feeling about themselves going forward on towards nuke, but that is not allowed. They're going to be again scraping together to rifle some FAMASs. It's an MP9. Sure, he gets another FAMAS just to make it the 4 of them. So yeah, I mean, again, they've got something to try and put up a little bit of a fight in this round, but it doesn't really seem to matter what they have in their hands. They are just getting steamrolled right now. Towards Banana.
Once again, 3 players back towards Banana, and they are going to be getting aggressive, only to be met by Zeralta. Rooks will try it out, so at the very least, there's that given over to them, but he's not been left the healthiest fella either. Ooh, nice adjustment from Gratisfaction.
Yeah, left on low health though, so there is still maybe a bit of hope that they can turn this 2-on-3 around. It's going to require a big retake with no kit though, actually, which makes things quite a bit more difficult, and they do not expect their cast in close on mid. Flashed even for the final kill, takes his time with it just to get the nice little one tap, and there it is. 16-7. I mean, it started off incredibly well for Xplosion. I was surprised by how strong they were playing. They took that initial 6-1 lead, but even in that, we seen kind of the glimpses of what was to come, right? In those rounds where there was the couple rifles and we were having 3 or 4 Ks come in from individual players. That was a glimpse of how the rest of the game was going to go.
I do definitely think there's some server issues going on, which hopefully can be resolved by the time the second one comes out. We did see that weird round from Rue as well, where he seemed to kind of disconnect or lag or something like it, just full Wing through the smoke. Some strange occurrences. Yeah, it's one or the other, right? Either the server's fried or his brain is. But regardless, it's going to be an uphill battle going into Nuke. That's one of NKT's best maps historically. It's one of Urkos and Bintet's best maps historically, as far as the calling and secondary calling is concerned as well. So, yeah, not the best of signs out of Inferno.
No, definitely not. As you said, going forward onto Nuke now, things are not going to get any easier for Xplosion. If anything, it could get more difficult. We could even see a more one-sided scoreline if they don't manage to get off to a strong start and maybe take that initial pistol as well. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm hoping that we will see a resurgence in performance so we can get an entertaining map. Who knows, maybe if it's a massive turnaround, we could even see a 3-map series. That is not going to be an easy task, though. Until then, though, guys, we are going to have to send it over to a little bit of a break. So stick with us, and we will be back as soon as they're ready to get Nuke going.
Come to make a name, ready for battle. Cause I got a thing to claim. Think that I'll crumble. I'll show you a mistake. Where you see me coming, better run for cover. Cause I'm not slowing down, I'm never going under. I survived the pain, I know it made me stronger. So meet the monster, I came to conquer. When all the smoke clears, I'll still be on my feet. Forget all of my fears. Cause I know my destiny. I feel a champion waking inside of me.
I told me, do you know? I told me, do you know? All alone in your head, but you don't have to pretend that you will make a change, 'cause you don't wanna change. I'm gonna be real honest this time. I'm okay with it, I am more than fine. I'm gonna roll all less red dice now. Tell me I won't get out. Tell me I won't get out. I wanna walk the sky alone among the stars without forgetting who I was or have to look back that far. And I don't want to forget who, get who. And are you just fucking around in my mind one last time? I'm gonna be real honest this time. I'm okay with it, I am more than fine. I'm gonna roll all less red dice now. Tell me I won't get out. Tell me I won't get out. Tell me I won't. Trap me inside your walls now. Tell me I won't get out. Tell me I won't get out. Crush me with all that you are now. Tell me I won't get out. So tell me I won't get out.
We were caught in the fire. Our faith was left out in the open. Saw the fear in your eyes as we moved through the dust. Nights turn into days, wanna buy another. Under darkened skies, we await, bound to each other. But our spirits never die. Faded as we push through the darkest times. I'll be there by your side. We arise. Everything's breaking. Our souls will awaken. Our spirits never die. At the end of the line, the trust in our hearts beating louder. Under darkened skies, we await, bound to each other. But our spirits never die. Faded as we push through the darkest times. I'll be there by your side. We arise. Everything's breaking. Our souls will awaken. Our spirits never die.
Yeah, they done told me to be myself. So when I went and found myself, the ones who told me back then be true to who I am ain't think we was really gonna win. Now they watching us from the sidelines while we trying to victories like we in high tides. I'm getting my prize. Only thing my eyes is locked in on. Half a million mine. I want it right now. Don't waste my time. Family in a penthouse with a view sky high. Blood, sweat, and tears bring more to my eyes. Cause the whole gang winning. I done gave my life. Odds low, but we did it, ain't we? And we always move in, never on the same thing. Now our lives are highlight reel. We like the thrill. This life's ideal. The hype is real.
We know it. It's just the way we live. We own it. Cause that we love the thrill. We know it. It's just the way we live. We're grown up kids. It's just the way we live. We own it. Cause that we love the thrill. We know it. It's just the way we live. We're grown up kids. We're grown up kids. In the dark, stone cold, sinking deeper. We are here. We keep holding on, dusk till dawn. When the water rises, when the world burns down, we will stand together. We fight forever. We fight forever.
All right, everyone. We have some rather unfortunate news. Team Xplosion unfortunately have gone ahead and forfeited the second map and taken the 2-0 loss. I would presume because of the ping issues that they were having. It looks like it was something on their end, most likely, because it seemed like they took a while to try and fix it.
Look, I honestly can't really blame them too much for it. We saw them get a lead in the beginning of Inferno as well, but afterwards there were some pretty clear areas where there was some weird peaks, some weird bushes, and even from GoTV, which is infamous for limited information, it was pretty obvious. It was pretty clear that things were going wrong for them as far as the internet was concerned. So at the very least, I'm glad to see that they do at least have some promise with their players. Right, we saw that in the first 6 rounds. Some of the new players will be exciting to keep an eye out for as well. It's unfortunate that they have to come through versus a team like NKT in the manner that they did, but it is what it is, right?
Yeah, I'm hoping we get to see them again and without the ping issues, because in those initial few rounds they did look pretty impressive, and despite the ping issues they still had some good moments within those rounds that they were losing. Clearly they had ideas, they have some individual skill, so I'm hoping next time around that things will go a lot smoother for them.
Well, we'd hope so for sure. And that does put NKT out on 2-0 on the table, so they'll be at least able to collect on and continue on. As far as NKT is concerned, I don't think we saw the best from them beyond Zeralta having some fantastic moments. But even that, again, there's so much salt that you have to sprinkle on with the situation at hand. But, there's some promising signs for Zeralta in particular.